All right. Welcome, everybody, to the comic panel. I'm your co-host, Talon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawenta.
Those listening for the first time, we are a bi-weekly radio show podcast, comic book club, covering any and everything regarding comics and manga. So the way we do our show is we have each co-host pick a book that follows a specific theme and review a book for each episode. Then we wrap up the theme with a retrospective or post-mortem episode covering our opinions and favorite moments from each of the books. This is our first book in our new theme of continuations. For the first book in this theme, we are reviewing The Magic Order Volume 2 by writer Mark Millar and artist Stuart Immonen, with Sonny Go and David Curiel as colorists and Clem Robins as letterer. Without further ado, let's jump into our review. And we'll start by giving a summary. So we read Volume 1, like a year ago?
I also chose Volume 1.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It was earlier this year, very early.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a year, but maybe it has been that long.
I actually don't think it has.
Does it feel like yesterday, Jake? You're like, it's so fresh in my mind.
Close. I don't know about that.
So this, she chose it when I chose the theme of magic. And so that's, and then that was my favorite book of that whole theme.
Which I still don't understand.
Hey, Lon, you can tell us what your favorite book out of the magic ones was about.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can, but I won't bore you with the details.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's a service to you guys. Anyway, Volume 2 continues from where the first volume left off, where one of the main characters, Cordelia Moonstone, and she was characterized as the drinker party girl who was considered a disappointment by the family. And so now she's in charge of the Magic Order. And the Magic Order is an ancient, secret organization of wizards whose goal is to protect humans from the magical world. Her brother, Regan Moonstone, is now the legal guardian of their niece, Rosie, after her father, Gabriel, became disillusioned with magic and tried to destroy the Order. Gabriel was killed by Cordelia in exchange for Rosie's life. So that's how the first volume ended there. And the story in this book is that a group of evil wizards seek to take back power that was stolen from them when the Magic Order overthrew them and established their protection over the Earth 1,000 years ago. This group of wizards...
evil Eastern European wizards.
Yes.
How dare they?
Vaguely Eastern European.
This group of wizards is led by Victor Korne, a descendant of Soren Korne, the king the Order deposed. Their mission is to restore the Earth to the way it was when their ancestors were in power, where humans were fearful of the dark because of the monsters that walked among the Earth. Their plan is to call upon a powerful demon, Othoul'endou. That's the best I could do.
It was...
Othoul'endou?
Yeah.
Something like that. This demon gave Soren Korne his power, but the demon ended up disappearing when Soren Korne needed it most, when the Magic Order of the time came in, fought for the power.
Yeah, it was like a final battle, and Othoul'endou disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the most critical moment.
Yep. And so
they're like, well, if we needed him to win the fight all those years ago, the best way to win the fight right now is to bring him back.
Yeah.
I'm saying he as if the demon has a gender.
Right, yeah. We'll just call it it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they call upon the demon by gathering the pieces of an artifact called the Stone of Thoth, which summons the demon from any place in the world and in time to the summoner. Now, the Magic Order has to stop this band of evil wizards with a powerful ancient demon on their side, a threat they have never faced before. So, that's the summary. What did we all think of the story?
Oh boy, what a story.
Despite that summary, it is very boring.
I didn't know you could, like, make this story that boring.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, well, boring's the wrong word. It's just... This story has no interest in consistency or rules.
Uh-huh.
Just, like, tonally really interesting. So, I mean, there's that one character who's Cordelia's ex of sorts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whose name escapes me at the moment.
God, he looks like a different famous comic character, so I kept going, what are you doing in this comic?
Let's see. His name isn't Victor. That's the other guy. His name.
I know, all I can remember is Victor's name.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting it. Francis. There we go. Francis King.
Francis.
Yeah.
Francis King. So he's kind of exes with Cordelia. He's a bad boy magician, rock star, who just got out of rehab, but it comes out later that he totally just skipped town, which must be so easy for them. They can just get out of anything. Like, how do they have any sort of discipline?
He stayed.
Gotta have the magic order, right?
True. True. Yeah, he stayed for a formality or something.
Yeah. I mean, you want to stay to, like, get better in rehab.
Yeah.
But let's be real, they can't contain them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless
At
it's
least
a
not in the
magical.
way we've seen.
Unless it's a magical rehab. Yeah.
Which I guess
Even
they get at the end, kind of.
They do. They do.
So there's not it's not a magical dampening rehab.
Yeah, but there are other wizards there, so I guess it's fine.
Oh, then they just let him walk.
He could just, like, walk out. I think he's strong enough he could just walk out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a rehab thing. You're not supposed to, like, keep people there against their will. They have to, like, want to get better or whatever.
I think we should put them in straitjackets.
It worked for a time, I think.
That is how they used to do it.
It didn't work. That's not the word for it. They did that.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay, but what I'm saying about the character is he has that scene, like, where he snaps and kills another wizard, whatever they're called.
Yeah, because he, like, kind of relapses, but not a relapse because he wasn't sober. And then there's whatever events happen, and it's like, oh, he's gotta go and help Cordelia because there's events happening. And because he shows up high, everybody's like, hey, stop doing magic. You're actually doing things worse.
Yeah.
And
Man,
he gets mad, and then he kills someone. Not even just someone, because civilians are dying everywhere all the time. He kills another wizard, like an important member of the order.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one afterwards who is like, I guess
hey guys,
I'm
really sorry. I should.
I guess I'll leave. Because I suck. I'll leave because I suck, you guys. And they're all like, we weren't going to make you leave. Like, a person died. Like, one of your friends died because of this dude.
This is not like you crashed the Christmas party because you were too drunk, or like you took out Dad's car at a DUI. Like you killed somebody, and nobody's really concerned with like, I didn't want to really make him feel that bad.
If you did leave,
kill that guy,
what would they have done? That's what I mean. Like, what would they have done?
I think you guys are missing a very, very valuable and important point to the Magic Order. And that is, in the words of Vin Diesel, family.
It is all about family.
Exactly.
No wonder you love this.
He's not family with any of them.
Well, he is, because he's part of the Magic.
Important.
Yeah.
His family's important.
So, like,
the order. Which also makes me go,
but what about the part of the family he killed?
And it's called forgiveness. That
you should forgive people when they change. All he said was, hey man, I'm really sorry. I'll leave.
No, forgiveness is about you, not about the other person. So, yeah. I think you guys just missed the point. No, so I read that and I was like, oh man, that is so, I love that. I love that they like,
Just
had,
killed
no, that they had a moment. They were like, oh, let's discuss and let's like, okay, I can learn to let it go, give him another chance kind of thing.
I don't like that.
Yeah, they're just
I want to
enablers for his
act
bad behavior.
Okay, like aside from the morals of it,
Mm-hmm.
it's just not interesting. Like,
Oh,
why
gotcha.
don't they act like as their characters would act? Like, in the emotional moment. They're just kind of, like, subdued. Like, if that doesn't get them to react, like, a little bit rashly, then what is gonna do that? Like, I want to see these characters be themselves at some point, instead of just, like, going with the flow. Because I kind of like start to agree with Victor. I'm like, these guys suck. They're kind of just
What?
covering for each other.
Okay.
They're way too powerful for their own good.
I would agree with you from like the first volume, only in the sense that like I didn't really get the vibe that they were Earth's protectors, and so I'm like, yeah, maybe they are bad, but yeah.
And that
It'd
could be
be one thing
interesting.
if like it's like, hey, we really got to stick together while these guys are around. We can deal with this once we've dealt with these darn Eastern Europeans trying to get uppity, trying to upset the order.
Yeah, seriously, it's called the Order for a reason. No, but they are trying to return the Earth back to chaos, so obviously that's bad.
Which is only like
Meanwhile,
1,000 years ago, which isn't even that long ago.
No, not at all.
The Romans were around back then.
They were
Okay,
around
and then, like-
before, like 2,000 years ago. Like,
Cordelia is like the main character, right? Sorta.
In the
Yeah.
first one, I wouldn't say she's the main character in this one.
no,
She does get a lot of screen time though. Still, she's still like
Yes.
clearly having flings and acting a little funny. She's like trying to come up with a trick. Who would you say the main character is then? Is there a main character?
That
who has
fat
a
guy gets a lot of
character
play. It turns
Him?
out he's getting
The
mind
traitor?
controlled.
The traitor?
I think to be a traitor, you have to purposefully do it. He was mind controlled.
Okay, so he's not even himself the entire book. We never get to see him be uncontrolled.
Oh, that dude at the beginning who sacrifices his kid?
Oh yeah, well,
oh yeah, Victor Korne. Yeah.
you're talking about Victor, the villain,
Yeah.
and then the guy he like aligns with.
Yeah, blanket on his name.
I don't know either. Wait,
doesn't
maybe
matter.
did I write it down?
He doesn't even show up again, does he?
Is he the one with the magic violin?
I think they get it from one of the people he knows.
Hmm.
I mean, that was pretty. It's a black wedding. That was really interesting. That's why, like, anytime Victor showed up, and the guy who can not die.
Oh
I
yeah,
like that guy.
okay.
Zang.
I wish
love
he was
him.
the main character.
I know. I wanted to see him do more things.
So his whole thing was that he made his living off of, because he could live forever, cause
Bird
plane
scam.
crashes and claim insurance.
What a great guy. He's not good. But that's, like, so interesting.
He's like,
he's just
he's
solid.
doing something cool. Cordelia's just like, oh, I'm so upset about how I can't get my life together, and how am I going to be a good president for the Magic Order? All I can do is all this cool magic all the time.
How does she solve that? She just does.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about it.
We don't even know how the trick works. Like,
Yep.
I
A
think
good magician never
Never
reveals
revealed,
their
exactly.
secrets, though.
Exactly.
Have you considered?
Come on, Shawenta, keep up.
I'm
that
so
means-
mad about her.
That means Mark Millar
I-
doesn't have to think of how she does that.
I was excited by the fact that they, like, peeked in on the potential of the future, and the little girl is, like, up there on stage, you know, doing
Oh, yeah.
the trick to become then, you know, you have to do a trick, and that proves you can be worthy to be president of the Magic Order, or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
It has to be a trick that is so unique, no one's ever done before.
Yeah, so you get the respect of your fellow members.
Yeah.
When they had the little girl up there, and they were like, "Oh, what if the future's gonna have the little girl be the president?" I was like, "Do it! I want to see that. Do it!" And they're like, "Here's Cordelia. She's back."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh."
That was kind of confusing to me because I thought they said that was 5 years later.
No, it's 1 week later.
Oh.
But
Okay.
yeah, at first I thought it was like in the future, but she wasn't older. The little girl wasn't any older.
That's what confused me. I was like, 5 years?
So the moment they had that, they're like, we have to do time travel because he brought the monster back to the past to help the evil guy win in the past so that we never even had to have this future. And I was like, oh, so we're going to use time travel. We're going to bring back the dead people. Okay, that's stupid, but do something. They don't even do that. They're dead. Those people are dead. We don't care about them. Like, what did we know about each of them? He loved his property portfolio.
I'm sorry, what? I got
They
lost.
mentioned his property portfolio like twice in a specific way.
Okay, they own like half of South London. Make a big deal about like how rich and powerful they all are.
I hate them. It's like just another reason for me to hate them. I'm like, oh, so you guys suck. You just hoard stuff from the non-magic users.
Okay.
Why can't I buy a house? Because the wizard mafia bought them all. They're just renting them all out.
They literally describe this book as wizard mafia.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to love them, but they don't even do cool things. They like hurt their informants to get the information out of them, but there's no consequences for that. Like those people just get to be hurt. They're really mean.
Yeah, I will say for like that I think that's why I was confused in the first one because it was supposed to be Wizard Mafia, but they're supposed to protect humanity?
Now they're superheroes.
Right. That was kind of weird.
Mark Millar does like his secret societies, though, doesn't he? I can't hold that against him, though. I like secret societies too.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Francis ending himself fake out?
Oh man,
I knew that wasn't real.
What?
Don't pretend.
No,
for a
I thought that
second.
was serious. I thought that was
still insulting.
Like, I didn't know who it was, but I knew it wasn't him.
I guess if the panel doesn't show his face, maybe that's a good hint that there's a fake out coming. Fine.
Since they're wizards with unimaginable powers that will never be explained, even if they showed the face, it'd just be like, oh, I used a broom to pretend it was him.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I thought that was serious. I was like, I was actually kind of like taken aback. I was like, no way, no, I don't like that at all. And he came back and I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's great.
That's not the word for it. You don't go, oh man, that's awesome. You got me.
So little context. When he went back home, there was this other magical creature there that was kind of taunting him, and it was like a manifestation of his depression and guilt and shame, and so it was like trying to keep him down.
It feeds off of his misery or something.
Yeah.
It's like a demon. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, he like mentions it when he's leaving the order after killing that guy. He's like, "There's like a manifestation of my guilt. I don't know if it's real or my subconscious." Like, couldn't you like check? No?
Doesn't like none of his friends even help.
Oh yeah.
Just like that could actually be a demon,
Yeah.
and you're with all the wizards you know. So why don't you just ask if it's real or not?
That's a
Like
good point.
for a wizard community, they don't really help each other a lot. It feels like.
See, but they forgive well.
The word you're looking for is enable.
No, forgive. Did Francis go back to his old ways at the end?
He might. You don't know.
You saw like one day.
That's fair.
He proved himself by not ending himself
Yes.
and showing up anyway.
He got clean.
And like, how did he know to show up?
It's just happening.
Because like at the end, the gimmick is like, oh, I have this helmet that makes everything I think real, and I think the Magic Order doesn't have any powers.
Yeah.
And then, so the daughter who isn't a wizard in the Order has her powers, but then also Francis does because he left the Order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, ooh, I love villains get defeated by wordplay. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You signed the wrong contract, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least, like, the daughter, I can understand, like, snuck out and followed them because she pulled the same, like, broom trick that Francis did to get out of rehab to evade her babysitter.
It's also, like,
Weird.
That wasn't cute to me, personally. Just, like, super dangerous. And they're like, get out of here, kid. We're about to be eviscerated.
I think Cordelia fought well. I mean, she yelled at her. It's like, this is dangerous. Get out of here. But then they were
like, the point I was trying to get at is that, like, Francis didn't know. Why did Francis go there?
That's, yeah, I don't have an explanation for that.
Like the little girl could have called him or something. I don't know.
Right.
Events could happen that could cause other events. That's a crazy idea.
Maybe he could sense. Maybe he could sense the absence of magic in the world.
Sniffing out magic like a dog.
These are all really valid points. But I think my stance is the correct one, and we're moving on. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you can think that.
I guess I have to concede.
All right. So I guess this question is like, what did we think about the characters? I don't exactly know if that's quite different than what we just talked about, but specifically...
Characters are the main focus,
Yeah.
right?
True.
I think, except for the child, they all suck.
Child was too busy trying to be cute. I didn't like that either.
Oh, gotcha.
Actually, I guess all the children, because there are those two that die, and that's, like, kind of neat, I guess.
That was neat.
Are you talking about the kid that got sacrificed at the black wedding?
Yeah, it got skeletoned.
Jeez, that was rough.
That
was
like
rough.
sucks in such an interesting way. Like the fact that he trusted him completely, went along with him, is like, yeah, Dad's gonna bring back our family, like, and then you're gonna die for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was rough.
I don't know. We talked about most of the characters. We didn't really get to learn about most of the characters, except for the guy who was the traitor. And all we got to hear about was how rich he was, and like the little pep talk he gets to have after he's mad about his friend dying, like rightfully so. It's like, don't you worry, we have a portfolio of property that's great. Like his wife tells him, like, you've built yourself up from nothing. Like, I don't know, but my friend's also dead. That's kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't know if me making a bunch of money and being, like, pretty powerful is going to make up for that at the moment.
I definitely didn't get that sense when I read it. So, but I don't remember it, so I
There's
defer to
just
you.
so many little character explorations that were almost there, but they never fully fleshed out. And anytime that there was character exploration of like Francis or Cordelia, it felt so half-finished, so stilted dialogue in a lot of places that really didn't help. I think the dialogue is one of my main concerns.
Gotcha. I can probably agree with that. Yeah. But I will say I did enjoy the ending with Francis, because I think Volume 1 also kind of touched at this too, where it was like a redemption arc, and so I was like, I'm really stoked about that, Because like,
How did he redeem himself?
So, Talon, let me ask you this. Would you consider Volume 1's redemption arc lessened because we see that in the beginning of this, Cordelia is still doing all the same stuff? How she's just been rewarded with being magic president for no reason?
I would say it's not... I would not characterize it as that, because I think that she did grow in that she does have more responsibility, and she's taking that seriously. Because you don't...
How would you say she's taking it seriously?
She's showing up to the meetings.
Right.
I can kind of see that,
Yeah.
I
I guess.
She's taking it serious to
Right.
be like, okay, I have to put on a performance. Like, how is that going to be? And the character even acknowledged that, of like, yeah, you're Miss Serious now or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he said. It was Francis, I think, who said that.
Yeah, because she turns Francis away at the one point. Because she's like, we both know we're not good for each other.
Right.
How exciting.
Which I think is probably growth for her. I'd probably say that.
Poor other dude at the beginning who just got used.
Yikes. And she had to be like, so just to make sure I didn't do what I am worried, you're 18, right?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
kinda
God.
Weird
Yeah.
I
to put
hate
there.
that one so much.
Yeah. It's bad. It's not good.
That's the worst look.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Cordelia wasn't the main focus like we agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Francis kind of was. He had his arc of skipping rehab, killing a dude, killing his demons,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and then showing up to save the day because he won't quit on his friends, I guess,
And
is the good thing.
And I'm pretty sure he goes back to rehab.
And then they make a rehab for him because your problems can be solved if you have enough money.
Was it dedicated to his father? Is that?
They bought his father's estate, who
Gotcha.
his father was having to sell because of his rehab or his debts, his gambling debts. That's it.
Yeah. He's trying to pay them off.
Ugh.
Well, talk about a decent father. I'm kidding, not decent. That's a little patronizing.
His poor dad. Yeah, you feel bad for his dad.
Yeah.
But it can just, at any point, it can be solved by his wizard friends.
Oh, that's a good
Their
point.
enormous amounts of money.
That's a good point. Hey, we're family. We're not that family.
But he's not strong enough to ask for help or something. He's just strong enough to make his father sell his home estate.
I mean, and at the same time, his father was like, "Yeah, this place is too big for me." You know.
He was saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the thing you say to make someone feel better when you're having to pay off their gambling debts. I didn't like that car anyway.
Interesting. I thought it was genuine.
Maybe it's subtle dialogue after all.
I take what is given to me. I don't ask questions.
When the guy says,
Surface
I'm not a
level
traitor.
analysis.
When a trader shows up in a comic and goes, you guys can trust me, I've changed my ways. Talon goes, they should trust him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good insight. What do we think about the art?
There's some cool things in there. I'm not sure if it's more art than, like, cinematography is the wrong word, but like how the stuff is placed on
Oh,
the panel.
composition.
Some of that's kind of neat.
What-
Like with the dancer that they're fighting is kind of neat.
That was cool.
The sharks that are like patrolling this path where
Oh yeah.
the dude is going to meet the other guy to do a
Yeah.
to do a magic wedding. That's kind of
the thing.
cool. Like that's a neat idea.
This comic really just is like, what if there's a cool thing? And they're like, we'll never bring it back again, though. That's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Art-wise, I love the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I really think his figures are extremely, like, simplified in a precise way. I kind of love. I don't think it was some of the panels he was having to do, like how much he was having to fit in, I felt like was because of the script. But even with that, I think he did a really good job overall.
Gotcha.
Like very, very pleasing way that characters are drawn.
Fair. I think the art is great, but I also thought the first volume's art was great, and it was a different artist for that one. I think that was Copiel. Let me check. Yeah, it was Oliver Copiel or Olivier. It's probably Olivier.
Depends on if they're French or not, I guess.
Yeah. And
yeah, I would not have known it's a different artist if you hadn't said so, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Well,
I don't remember that much about the art, but I felt like it was the same.
Yeah. I think I don't know.
This one used more lines, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha. I can't.
I don't know.
I can't speak that in-depth analysis. Take your word for
maybe
it.
I'm crazy.
Or crazy enough to be sane.
Your subconscious is just adding lines to all the art you look at.
Well, some people do a lineless style, which I kind of remember a little bit of that in the previous volume.
Gotcha.
Who can trust my memory, though?
I can. You remember, I take what I'm given.
Good job, Dylan.
I'll trust your memory for you. Don't worry about that.
Oh man. So, so this next segment is kind of a different one, and I'm calling it questioning our theme. So, because this book is in a theme, thinking about it through that lens. So, the first question is this: as a continuation, how does this book stack up to its previous book, the last volume?
I would say it's worse. Not like mechanically, but it is more boring.
Gotcha.
Yeah, at least the trader in this one, in the first one, it just feels more cohesive. It's family. It's one of their own family that betrays them for reasons that they come up with. I think we agreed in the first volume that, it's his brother that betrays them, like their older brother who's super powerful because of their father, etc. And we kind of agreed that was too soon. We never really got introduced to these characters. Like, he was a traitor the whole time, so it was like, it was hard to feel betrayed. The emotional impact of it. This was someone I trusted. It was like, nah, this story's just about this dude betraying me. I never trusted him. Versus this one, I guess the traitor, like, right away. Like, the moment they said, oh, it's only in my brain, I went, oh, okay.
Oh, really?
I get it. Yeah.
Huh. I didn't pick up that piece.
The moment it was only in his brain, they're like, and then we have someone who can control anybody.
Fair enough. I think that it carried the theme of kind of like redemption, and so it carried that from the last book, and so I appreciate that. So it's kind of like they're both equal on that. But I will say that I think this book ends rather quickly, and so it's we get closer to the end. The bad guys have collected the stone, and they are summoning the monster, but it's almost just as quickly that the monster is defeated, and now the bad guys are finished. And it definitely felt like I think this book would have been better if it was longer, in that to actually have a scene where it's like, oh, they are possibly going to lose. But that moment was like one page.
Yeah, it's so quick. The
Yeah.
pacing really had to like be squeezed in there.
Yeah. So
There's so much that happens in that last battle that like I can't even keep it all in my head straight because time travel and betrayal and this person loses and this person wins, but then actually this person still has their powers and then other person still has their powers and shows up and but actually Cordelia dead, maybe sacrificed herself. I'm like, that's how much I can remember of the final battle.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's fine.
That's fine. She's gonna forget it as quickly as she learned it. Okay. So then the next.
People who liked the first book, like you, Talon, and you like the second book,
Yeah.
and then people who weren't super interested in the first book, the second book.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. No. What were you saying?
It didn't fix the things that really annoyed me with the first one.
Yeah.
And it just overall was kind of a less engaging story to me because of the lack of there's not even like a setup of these villains. They're just villains. I'm like, I didn't even know that the Magic Order had like ousted somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so does that mean that there's wizards elsewhere that are being like subjugated because of the Magic Order? Like, is there actual oppression happening?
I don't know about like oppression, but like the version I read, there was like a sneak preview of Volume 3 because I guess they made another one.
Yeah.
And this time it's Asian wizards.
I think I saw that and like wiped it from my mind.
Interesting. I don't know why. That makes me think of Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Because they also...
Oh, yeah, because then there's the Asian pirates.
Yes. Actually, not just Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Like, Back to Japan or something like that. I forget what it is.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, God. Yeah, they also go to Japan. Ancient Japan. Sorry.
You gotta do that for the third one.
Yeah. I guess.
If you're all out of ideas, go to Japan.
Lost in New York City.
Oh, yeah. So the next question is, does it set up well for a continuation of the story? Does this volume...
This also feels like it's the end.
There's no overall arc, is there? Like, Cordelia's not like, oh man, I gotta deal with the wizard election soon. Or like, we have to start building for the next... I don't know. There's just no overall goal. They're like, well, hope nothing bad happens next.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. Except for those Asian wizards.
If no villain showed up, what would these people do? Would they just continue... Would Cordelia continue being hedonistic and, like, running wizards, like, superpowers, superhero squad?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what they do when they're not dealing with big threats. So that's.
I mean, I guess that's kind of the point, right? Like, they're only there to be reactive to threats. But as characters themselves, also, I have no idea what they do.
Gotcha. I think
when they're not protecting the world, like, I don't know.
Well,
Cordelia's probably still doing like stage magic.
Yeah.
Just like Zatanna, but whatever.
Picking up people via stage magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hoping they're 18. That was the worst.
We also know that one of them is a real estate mogul, so he's got a lot of property. He doesn't need to do anything.
That guy died.
Oh, he did?
Maybe that's what happens in the next one, because like all the Asian wizards are like playing the stock market, so maybe they're just making a move on the London real estate scene. Now there's a big opening.
Just a bunch of rich
Maybe there's no magic.
I really love that,
all legal drama.
Wait, I want to see them like fight legal drama, but use magic every once in a while to try to get ahead of the team. You know.
I put a curse on the other lawyer. He can only speak in half truths.
My iPad won't stop glitching. Obviously, it's been marked.
Interesting. No.
You're not a fan?
I mean, well, to the main question, does this set up for a continuation? No.
No, they do mention that they didn't get any response from the Japanese part of the order, which means they probably got murdered or didn't care because they don't like Cordelia for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
Except then they'll end up teaming together to fight the other bad Asian wizards.
I didn't even know that. I didn't remember that part.
I remember that, but I'll say I do think the first volume sets up for the continuation better in terms of like, we have these things we need to continue on.
Okay.
Like, she's becoming the head of the order.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I can see your point. The
story is just the point of this story is to do more cool things.
Are you not entertained?
No.
I need some cohesion.
I thought that was clear.
I think it's plenty cohesive. I think there's plenty follow through.
Okay, Taylor.
What are Cordelia's powers? What can she not do?
Do the wizards need wands or not?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. Let me take a quick intermission.
If they lose their wand, how do they get a new one? When do they get a wand?
Yeah, I have no idea.
World building.
I don't need to ask myself those questions. Neither does Mark Millar.
I just if I got the impression that Mark Millar knew the answers, I wouldn't be quite so upset. Like, in Saga, we don't get all the answers to all the stuff that's happening, but I believe that the person who writes that, whose name escapes me, knows what the answers are.
Is it Brian K. Vaughan?
I believe so.
Okay.
But I believe he has the answers.
Gotcha.
I don't believe Mark Millar knows the rules to his own universe.
Can you, and to elaborate, I guess, or give context to, is that influenced by the other books from Mark Millar that we've read?
It might be.
He's written some pretty good ones. I look off into the distance fondly, thinking of them.
He did write Old Man Logan, and I still like Old Man Logan, so I can't say he didn't write anything I enjoyed.
Did he write Wanted?
Yes.
Did he write Prodigy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did write Ultimates, which was pretty good.
Sure. But I will say, New Ultimates is definitely better.
Oh, yeah. I haven't gotten a chance to get into that one.
Okay, I don't know about the Ultimates. I know Ultimate Spider-Man's better.
Okay. We have to go to the next question. Which we've kind of already answered.
Yeah. So I guess so I agree that this doesn't really set up for a continuation in the sense that there's loose ends to tie up, but I can really see that there's more to be explored in this world. So to me, I'm like, that lessens the, where we go from here.
Do you mean the continent of Asia needs to be explored?
I mean, they could take it a lot of different directions, but if that's where they want to go, I'm here for it.
Well, okay, no, the point of the question is, what do you think they're hinting at they're going to do as far as, exploring?
Well, I mean, that's not what I was saying when I wrote it. I was just saying...
What I'm saying is, if they're setting up for a next volume, that means that they're hinting at, the story is going to go in this direction. Cordelia is going to take a turn for the worse. I don't know.
Okay. Gotcha.
What are they setting up? The answer is they aren't.
I I kind of see if they were to say, like, not necessarily set up for a continuation, but leave it open for that, I still think that's valid. So it's like, this could be the end of the series, but it could also continue.
Okay, you said leave it open. You said leave it open. Leave it open to what?
To doing more with the world. Right. You know, because, like, there's still more you can do with Cordelia. There's still more to explore with the Magic Order and its different facets.
Okay, hit on an unfinished character and story doesn't mean that they've set up for a continuation. That just means they didn't write.
The Earth didn't explode, so I guess there's room for a sequel.
I don't. I mean, okay. I can see how you would say that.
Being too nitpicky with, like, setting up for continuation.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I just meant, is it effective, I guess, in allowing for a continuation in the future, as opposed to. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. It doesn't feel like an ending to Cordelia's story, but it feels like an ending sort of to Francis's story, so I can kind of see what you mean there. They set up for continuation by not ending it enough,
Gotcha,
in my opinion.
Nah, I can see your point there. Yeah. And so, I mean, you know, this is probably a pretty quick answer, but the next question is, as a continuation, does it change your mind about the series overall?
No.
I'm entranced by how little it does with so much. And so in some ways, I really want to see the Asian wizards do the stock market.
Oh, so I think they explore Asian wizards. Then they've got to explore, like, I don't know, Native American, Native Alaskan wizards.
African wizards?
Yep, African wizards. There we go.
Think of all the continents they haven't used yet.
Exactly.
South America? But
Aztec wizard would be pretty sick, though. Man, come on, kid, don't say that.
You're really good. I mean, I chose this continuation because I was having, like, conversations with myself about how much I was infuriated by the first volume. And I will say, this second one, it's just not enough to chew on for me. It annoyed me at the time, and I was, like, holding my head. But also, it was forgettable enough that I've kind of, like, gotten over it.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think it was, like... It wasn't, like, offensively bad.
Yeah.
It was just kind of boring. Like, especially this one. It was just boring.
Gotcha.
The first one
That's
was
what I mean.
a little worse, but it was a little more memorable for it. And at least it had a twist that, like, I could get behind, even if it was rushed. They just didn't have any of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't care about that portfolio guy being a traitor. Who is he even? Where was he in the first book?
Not helping.
I'm sure he was in the background.
I love side characters who betray me. Minor side characters.
You have inconvenienced me at the worst time. I'm on to you now.
Yeah, how is, like, any of the other characters' lives going to be changed by any of those deaths? Like, is Cordelia going to change at all? Like,
that's fair.
The niece isn't getting any more, like, cool rich people birthdays.
I was thinking about that. He shows up and hands her a wad of cash, and I was like, oh, that guy's evil then, right?
Right.
Like, he doesn't
That's what I
care
thought
about,
the implication was.
like, he's thoughtless, careless.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he just cool. Too cool for school.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and I would also say it doesn't change my mind about the series overall. So.
If you still like it, I guess that's...
Yeah.
Talon says, give me more, do the same.
Yes. I was actually saying that this is Mark Millar that I can get behind. Like,
It's not his worst book.
It's a high bar.
it's a high bar.
It's not Prodigy. That's for
Oh, you mean
sure.
it's a low bar?
No.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh,
It's a low
okay.
bar.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're like, I've seen worse.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I was thinking about this. I was like, so like the thing with Jupiter's Legacy, because that was also Mark Millar, was that the thing about it was that it was trying to be like, this is a modern take on superheroes, like gritty, you know. And I think this book does that a lot better than Jupiter's Legacy did, because in Jupiter's Legacy, it was these superheroes are just bad people, whereas in this, they are more like you know, we have our different morals, and you know, we want to do good sometimes, and we struggle with like, I don't know how to, like, where I don't know if it's struggle is really the right word I'm going for, but it's like it just feels more nuanced, like not totally, like more gray, I guess is the word I'm going for.
Hey, Lon, I'm going to challenge you on that.
Okay.
What are their morals? What
Well-
morals do they express?
So
Don't sleep with underage people.
right, so like morals they express, I don't know if it's so much that, but in an attempt to answer that question, right, it's like they are a group of wizards that are meant to protect the earth, right? So you can characterize that as they are straight-laced, and you know they
They're
don't
trying
do
to
anything
do
wrong.
good.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect civilians. They're thinking
Right.
of civilians at times.
And where the nuance to me comes in is where they have their problems. And so you have Francis here, who is like an addict. You have Cordelia here, who is rebelling against her family because she wanted to do things a different way, and they didn't want that. And there's history within the family, like, and this is going a little bit into the first volume. There's history within the family where there is like there's a family we don't talk about. And so now, so she's like, the daughter of that, in that family is like a pariah. And so it's just, to me, there's a lot more, it's not just straight-laced, it's a lot more like real, in my opinion.
Sure, I can see what you mean, where it's like a little bit more grounded
Yeah.
versus. I can see where Mark Millar writing a satire, because I haven't read that one, the Jupiter whatever,
Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy. I haven't read that, but I can tell, I can taste in the air what Mark Millar would write as a satire of superheroes.
Yeah.
As far as like, what if they sucked?
Right.
What if they were just bad? Like, I'm assuming they were bad, and then they're like, but I'm not actually bad. I'm pretending to be good. Like, I save people, even if I suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some sort of, like, you know, superficial, like, image they try
Yeah.
to keep up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Versus this, where the people seem to have some sort of, like, good intentions
Mm-hmm.
that they have trouble following through with at times, possibly.
Yeah. So yeah, to me, that's why I think, like, I like this, and I think it achieves more of that than Jupiter's Legacy, more of that groundedness. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so as we come to the close of our episode, real quick, has our opinions of this volume changed after hearing each other's perspectives?
I still think it's quite boring.
Okay.
Even if all that is, like, the characters, I guess I can kind of see where you're, like, they're a little more nuanced than I want to give credit to, but it doesn't make it less boring. This stuff still kind of happens for, like, no reason, and then more events happen, and then it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Cordelia's
Yeah,
back for some reason.
Gotcha.
I can appreciate how much, you. I can appreciate how much you like the characters, Taylor, and like give them credit. My biggest problem with this book and this series in general is just that there's no rules, there's no world building. Whatever goes, goes. We'll come up with it. Time travel, yep, forgot that happened. We'll do that again. Anything can be fixed or ruined in a second. The Stone of Thoth, I don't know. Do something with it. Hide it. You can do anything you want with it. I don't know. There's just too much, like, anything can happen. There's no grounding for a lot of it, and that really infuriates me for, like, magical stuff. Like, if you want to do cool stuff, make it rules, and then play with the rules. Break them, bend them. That's what the fun of world building is to me. And that's why it just feels so insulting to have so many cool ideas just kind of blended, put in a blender, and then I'm supposed to enjoy it. Cardinal sin of being boring.
Is what? That it is boring?
I'm just joking. Like that's the biggest problem, right? Like you better be bad or you better be good. Don't be
gotcha.
boring.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think, my opinion hasn't changed, but I can also see where you guys are coming from. So, yeah.
How much more Mark Millar are we going to read, guys? How long can we keep doing this?
Let's read volume 3 now. I have, like, less of an interest in reading volume 3, unfortunately.
Oh, gotcha.
But it's still there.
Yeah, I'd be down for volume 3.
Maybe in our double continuations theme.
we just have Cody. We just have Cody choose it.
Forced.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. That is our review of the Magic Order Volume 2. If you like this episode, be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Comic Panel 1 and listen to more of us on Spotify. Our title is the Comic Panel Podcast. And be sure to tune in 2 weeks from now when we cover the next book, which is Cody's pick. And yeah, I'm Taylon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawenta.
And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.